It's the final individual event for the men, and the Big Ten record holder, Muhammad Ahmad, the senior from Wisconsin, is featured in this final. In 2012, he won 13:41.06. He'll try to better his record here in his final trip around the track. Ahmad, a 7-time NCAA All-American. We saw him win the indoor 5K in 2014. Also look for Reed Connor. He's also a senior. We saw him in the 3,000 meters in 2014 do some big things, and he won this event outdoors in 2011. And this is where Wisconsin has really been able to make their move, Kevin, as we check out the start list in this 5K.
Yeah, definitely, and Wisconsin's going to have to come up with some big points here. Now, they started the first night going 1, 2, 3 in the 10,000 meters, got them out to a big lead. They're not winning this meet anymore. They've dropped to third in the championship. They need to get big points in this 5,000 meters. We saw them do it indoors where they went 1, 2, 3 in the second last event, the 5,000 meters, and that helped them win the indoor meet. We'll see if they can do it again outdoors.
38 competitors featured in this 5K.
Caleb Reiner, 6th a year ago, Michael Van Voorhees.
And there are a lot of guys in this field that are doubling off of various events. We have some guys that are coming off the 1,500, a few guys that are coming off the steeplechase. A lot of guys who ran the 10,000 a couple of nights ago who are coming back and doubling in this 5,000 as well.
Interestingly enough, we're seeing in this race that unlike the last one that we just saw, there wasn't a clear leader, Ahmed, going out here, but the pack much more concise here.
Yeah, and what we've seen with Wisconsin typically in this situation where they kind of get down to the end of the meet and you've got the 5,000 is a lot of times they'll use some team tactics. So they've got, 3 guys in here right now, and what they'll do is they'll trade off leads so that everybody does a little bit of the work so nobody gets too burned out. They try and maximize as many points as they can. And this is Mohamed going to the front right now, building out a little lead. They like to keep the pace honest. They don't necessarily want to go. They're not necessarily going to blister the pace, but they're not going to let the pace drag so that somebody can come by and outkick them that shouldn't be outkicking them and taking away points from the team.
Well, the Big Ten record holder has the lead early in this competition. 11 laps still remain. Kevin Lewis, the junior from Iowa, currently running second.
And Kevin Lewis was very strong, the Iowa athlete, very strong in the 10,000 the other night. Really stuck his nose in the race. Ended up 5th overall in 10,000. But again, he's coming back. We saw Aaron Finn have a little bit of trouble recovering. A lot of these guys that ran that 10,000, they maybe have some issues recovering as well. But we had guys that ran the steeplechase yesterday that are in here. They're going to have the same issues trying to recover, and guys that ran the 1,500 only having a couple hours to recover as well.
What do these athletes try to do, Kevin, to recover? Is there something that kind of aids it during the course of this 3-day event?
Well, the first thing they're going to do, basically as soon as they finish the race, they're going to warm down. The medical tent here has ice tubs in there, so they'll jump in the ice tub for 10, 15, 20 minutes. A lot of the teams now will either travel with masseuses, team doctors, so they'll probably get a flush out, get their compression gear on. There's all kinds of little things that they can do over the couple days to really recover, make sure they're fueling themselves right. So you want to get a good mix of protein and carbs to make sure you're recovering. Get ready and get back out here.
And can we just throw it out there that forcing yourself into that ice tub is exactly that. That thing is painful, and when your muscles are tired, it hurts to jump in there. And all of these guys are also going back to the hotel at night to continue that recovery process. This goes for the women as well, where they're filling the bathtub with ice and cold water, and you make yourself sit in there too. It's all part of the game and all part of the strategy of the recovery. I'm sure you've created some ice baths for yourself over the day.
Yeah, I've created a number of ice baths for myself. The ones here at the track are actually outdoors. So the guys that ran the 10K on Friday night, it was about 40 degrees when the meet ended. So they're going from 40 degrees and raining and jumping into a cold ice tub right after that. But that's what you got to do if you want to win a Big Ten championship.
And the story for these athletes is obviously they'd like to win a title here, but you're trying to win the championship here as you see our early leader is Reed Connor from Wisconsin. You're also trying to get prepared for NCAAs as well.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot on the line right now. So you've got the conference championship here. You're trying to recover and get ready for regionals in a couple weeks, and then the NCAA meet. We're seeing Wisconsin's Reed Connor. He's gone to the front now. This is what we kind of talked about, how Wisconsin likes to have these team tactics where they run a few guys. They'll have guys kind of shuffle through the field, take the lead for a few laps. Reed won the 10,000 meters on Friday night. We saw him indoors win the 3,000 meters indoors as well.
And when you take a look at Ahmed, who's jumped back into about 7th or so now, Kevin, I know you're not worried about his placement in this race. We've seen him do some unbelievable things over his career at Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're definitely not worried about where Mohamed is in the field. I mean, he was 9th at the World Championships in the 10,000 meters last year. He's 2012 Olympian for Canada. I mean, you can go down his accolades. He's a school record holder in the 10,000 meters for Wisconsin. He's run 13:28 this year in the 5,000, which ranks him 3rd in the country. I wouldn't be worried about Mohamed being stuck in 7th or 8th place right now. He's just biding his time. He's going to work his way back up, get up there with Reed Connor, and work on trying to win this race and maximize points.
Although, did you see that there was a little bit of some arm bumping and almost a trip go down. It's really when the pack is this tight, Kevin, you're fighting for your personal space just as much as you're fighting for time.
Yeah, sure. The pace hasn't been really blistering. It's an honest pace, but they're, like I said, there's a lot of guys who are doubling, so, they don't really want to put themselves out on the line. They're just keeping it, Wisconsin's keeping it just quick enough to try and string it out a little bit, but we're still relatively early in the race, only just over 5.5 minutes into the race, so the field's still pretty compact. It can get there's a lot of jostling with the top competitors out there.
It's more physical than it looks.
It's definitely more physical than it looks. They're little guys, but they'll throw their weight around out there.
Elbow or two going out quickly, making sure that they're keeping their spot. You're not going to pass someone without a little bumping and bruising going on.
And we saw them at 5:47 or so through 2K. It's about 14:20 pace that they're on right now. So it's a lot slower than what the very top guys can run. Most of these guys have run, the top 8 or 9 guys have run right around 14 minutes or faster, down to a Mohamed who's run under 13:30. But it is still an honest pace, and especially after all the racing that these guys have done.
Big Tens are so much fun because you're running for place and not for times.
Well, definitely. And Wisconsin here, they've lost a lot of points over the sprints to Illinois and Nebraska. They came into the day with, Wisconsin did, with over a 30-point lead, and Illinois and Nebraska just chipped away all day at this lead. We're going into the 4x4 relay as the last event. Illinois and Nebraska are going to be the favorites there as well, so they've got a chance to pick up 8 or 10 points. That's Nebraska and Illinois, pick up 8 or 10 points in the relay. These guys have to come out of here with probably close to, Wisconsin has to come out of this race with close to 20 points in order to give themselves a chance to win the meet.
Well, if they do what they did indoors, where they had a 1-2-3 sweep there, certainly they're right in the mix. And right now, it is the Badgers leading with 6 laps to go. And how does it impact you as a team when you have the confidence of that 1-2-3 sweep, but you have that same group of guys that are training day in and day out?
Well, yeah, it's definitely a confidence booster. You know exactly what your teammates are capable of. You know what you've already done. You know that you did it indoors where you came back and went 1-2-3 in the 5,000. You know you started the meet off big for Wisconsin, going 1-2-3 in the 10,000. So you know that what you're capable of. You know that you can come in here and be confident that, whether the pace is a little slow or a little fast, when it comes down to that last 400, 800 meters, you're going to be right in the mix to try and take that sweep.
Reed Connor, the senior from Wisconsin, looking for a double.
And Mohamed's got himself out of that little box that he was in. He's moved himself back into 4th place right now.
Kevin Lewis of Iowa currently running 2nd with 5 laps remaining here in the 5K.
So we're coming up to the 3,000 meter point right now. They'll have 2K to go here. It'll be 8:40 at 3,000 meters. So they're still right on about 14:20, maybe a touch under 14:20 pace right now. Still not that real blistering pace, but I would expect over the next couple of laps, the pace is going to start inching up. I would expect the last 1,000 is going to be pretty quick.
Kevin, at this point of this season, when you want to do well at Big Tens and you want to get points for your team, but you also have a long way to go to get through nationals where you really want to lay down your best times. How many miles a week on average are these men running at this point?
Well, depending on the point of the season, early in the season, some of these guys are going to be doing upwards of 100 miles a week. Anywhere, in the middle of the season, they're going to probably be averaging somewhere in the neighborhood of 85 or so. Now that we're coming into the late season, they're going to be dropping down into the 60s and 50s. But yeah, you get in some really tough quality miles.
Reed Connor, the senior from Wisconsin, in the lead, and right now the Badgers are running 1-2 as Mohamed now is in the lead, the Big Ten record holder in this event.
And Connor's going right with him now. 1 mile to go. And we'll need to keep an eye out for Wisconsin's third runner, Michael Van Voorhees. He was third in the 10K the other night. They really need to have 3 guys up in the front, really, in order to get maximum points.
They have Ahmed running first, now with 3 laps remaining.
10:20 through 4,000 meters. Pace just starting to pick up a little bit. Now, Mo did this the other night. He went to the front like this, built up about a 20-meter lead on the field, but he went a little bit too early, and his teammates ended up really coming home hard, nipping him. And Reed Connor nipped him at the line for the victory. And they may, if they get close again, they may let Mo have this win, but he's trying to string it out right now.
He's well ahead of Kevin Lewis, the junior from Iowa, in the black, who's currently running second. Three laps still remaining here in this 5,000-meter run.
And Mo's starting to lose that lead that he had. Looks like Kevin Lewis is just inching it back just a little bit. The 10,000 meters could be taking its toll on some of these Wisconsin guys. It is a little warmer. This is the first warm day we've had here at the conference championship, so the little bit of increase in heat could be affecting these guys as well. 11:35 or so at 4K, still on that 14:20 pace. The pace really hasn't picked up that much over the last couple of laps, but we're coming up to the 2 lap to go mark. This is typically where you would see Mo kind of throw down a hard lap. He doesn't necessarily have the greatest leg speed, so he likes to kind of stretch things out from farther out than some of these big kickers.
He's ahead of Caleb Reinert from Michigan State with 2 laps remaining.
And Reinert is coming in here fresh. He's one of these guys that hasn't doubled this weekend, so he hasn't run another event yet, so he may be one of the freshest guys in the field. He comes in ranked 4th in the conference with a 13:49 this year.
2 laps remain in the 5K. And the Big Ten record holder, Mohamed Ahmed of Wisconsin, wearing number 14 in white on the inside, is in the lead.
Caleb Reinert is fresh. He's going to have fresh legs. He may be able to challenge Mohamed here. I wouldn't count the rest of the Wisconsin guys out yet. They're on the back of that pack right now, but they are still in the race. But Mo is trying to stretch us out. He just can't get a good lead on the rest of the field right now.
You see him looking over his shoulder there, trying to figure out what's going on here. It looks like he's potentially about to give up first place.
The one thing about Mohamed is he is one tough competitor. He is going to fight until the finish. So he's going to, any challenge these guys throw at him in this last lap, he is going to try and respond.
Ahmed's the leader with 1 lap to go in the 5K. Caleb Reinert from Michigan State in second.
That's Mason Furlick from Michigan in third.
And also moving up, Ian Barrett, the sophomore from Illinois, has been among the lead pack with now just a half a lap to go. And the Badgers starting to pick up pace as he heads to the final turn. Ahmed around the final corner, looking for a Big Ten title here in the 5K as a senior.
Mason Furlick from Michigan in second, but Wisconsin coming hard down the home stretch. They're trying to come, and they're trying to get the sweep.
And here come the Badgers trying to move up for a 1-2-3 sweep again. And it's a repeat of indoors. Ahmed leads a clean sweep of the podium for the Badgers.
Amazing finish for Wisconsin. You never can count Wisconsin out in any distance race on the track. As soon as you think they're beat, they come by you in the home stretch. They are just fierce competitors when the team championship is on the line.
Gotta love the way Mohamed was turning around, looking for his teammates, saying, come on, guys, let's go. Down the stretch, he's looking at his guys, shaking his arms, knowing that was a 1-2-3 punch. Awesome.
Mo takes a quick peek. He realizes they're going to sweep again.
Yeah.
And that is some excitement from Wisconsin. They know that they just put themselves back in the hunt for that team championship.
Well, Muhammad, you guys did it indoor. You did it in the 10K. Now you do it in the 5K. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is what we came out here to do. We're a distance school. We have a really rich tradition with a lot of Olympians, and all of us are very accomplished. We do that. We did it indoors. We did it 2 nights ago, and we're like, all right, we're gonna do it again.
Yeah, and you pick up a lot of points for the Badgers.
Yeah, that's all we were trying to do out there. The team needs us. It's a close battle with Nebraska, Illinois, and us right now. We don't know what happened since we went and started warming up, but hopefully that event will help put us up there so that when the 4x4 comes, we have a chance to win this meet. That's what we came here to do.
All right, well, guys, congratulations.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Badgers!
25 points for the Badgers in the 5K as they go 1-2-3. Muhammad Ahmed wins it with a time of 14:09.53. And with those 25 points, they now have 117 overall as they have secured the outdoor title. And the battle now for second between Illinois and Nebraska.